concepts. What do you think about it?
I think it has merit in the aspect of you can learn. So the five ways of attack. A lot of people don't know that Bruce used that to assess other martial arts so he could find their weakness. It wasn't so he could learn their strengths and then incorporate their strengths. Because how are you ever going to have enough time to practice all these different things? If
Right.
you look at 24 hours in a day, most people train five, let's just say 4 or 5 days a week. And let's say they train an hour, hour and a half a day. So that's roughly what, 7 hours a week?
Right.
Bruce was training 30 hours a week. If you get some background and you do your research and you find out from the right people, he was training about 25, 30 hours a week. So that's what, 5, 6 hours a day. Even with that amount of time that he was invested in training, he wasn't training a whole bunch of different things. You would see on his notes that John Little put in his books. It'd say 500 punch, however many kicks, 800
Mhm.
kicks, and it would say straight punch, hook punch. It didn't say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or armbar for 2 hours. So in saying that, he knew how to do these things, and he probably experimented with them in his own spare time. But to get the kind of skill that is required to make JKD work, again, timing, you have to be very sharp. And a lot of times people don't realize that the repetitions that you do, most of the time it's eliminating motion. You're eliminating any kind of wasted motion. That's the whole purpose. And wasted tension. And you're carrying a lot of unnecessary tension. You're wasting energy. If you waste energy, you're going to be tired. You can't move fast. You can't be sudden enough to end the encounter fast, which is, again, timing. So he used the five ways of attack in order to dissect other martial arts to find out where the weaknesses were, whether it was a rhythm, some kind of safety problem, like their stance is too wide,
Yeah.
poor footwork, lack of tool development, like maybe their tools were too crude, they weren't direct enough. That's probably the main one. Is most tools aren't just direct enough. And the
Yeah.
other thing is that most martial arts styles start in a stance. JKD is meant to operate from no stance, and that's where the non-classical comes from. It's supposed to work from any position. You don't get into a stance and then attack. You
Right.
attack from where your hand.
Right.
That's the non-classical part, and that's the individual expression. So if you're going to attack someone, if you're sitting here like this and you're going to attack them, you attack from where you are, and you get to choose how you want to do it as long as you hit the vital primary target. People don't really know the five ways of attack. We're just dissecting other martial arts, and that's how you can attack in every single form of combat or warfare. Those are the only five ways you can attack a human or another enemy. There are no other ways. And what you do is you try to train them individually. You do that through your repetitions. And if you're eliminating motion, if you're eliminating tension, you get better. And then they become simpler. If they become simpler, you get faster, more explosive, more sudden, harder to stop, harder to read. So in saying all that, I think the whole concepts thing has good intentions in order to find answers to other ways of people attacking. They do train higher in levels of intensity than I've seen in some original camps
Mhm.
because they train under sport conditions. So they're
Absolutely.
able, so they're able to train with more intensity, like a boxer or a kickboxer or Muay Thai guy. And that's why a lot of original guys get criticized, is because the people from the sporting camp look at how original is training and it's not the same level of intensity. Well, one, they don't understand the fact that interception is the main goal. They think it's just sucker punch.
Mhm.
Sucker punch is, yeah, the start. But if something goes wrong, you have to follow up to the next target while you're safe. And that's the part that they don't see, you know, because these things should be trained individually. If you train them individually, you can make them stronger and then you can link them together. But, you know, it's just, again, semantics. People
Right.
don't really understand the strategy and goal. They think the goal is just to, trade with the opponent, wear him down. He takes some hard punches, you take some hard punches, you cover up, and then
Yeah.
you either submit him or knock him out with a punch or kick.
Mhm.
And really, it should be, if you watch the screen test with Bruce, remember the screen test where he did it for that TV show? It was like 1965, I think. Was it Number One Son?
Yeah, for the number one son, correct.
And he's throwing the punches, the kick, and you see the old guy like flinching. He's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to hit you.
And right. And then
I'm
Bruce
afraid I'm
does,
going to hit you.
yeah. And then Bruce demos by himself and he throws like he talks about how books and magazines, even back then, they would say, oh, you do this and this and this and this,
Thousand things
thousands of
before you can get a
steps
hit.
before you do a single thing.
Yeah.
It's the same story.
Yeah.
He said in Kung Fu, or his version, it should be a very fast motion. One motion, and he's gone.
Right.
And if you miss the one motion, the next one should be the finisher. And you should train in this manner. It shouldn't be like, yeah, we trade shots and then my one motion lands. No, that's not the point. You have to break all of this down into individual aspects until you can get to that.
Right.
Because if you're just trading, like you said before, if you come across a guy that's 50, 60, 70 pounds heavier than you,
Right.
he's just as fast.
Yeah.
And the distance is close.
Yep.
And he goes first.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It's not going to be good.